Call 800-255-7500.
Welcome to Divine Love Talk with Dr. Parthenia Grant, where we talk about health, well-being, and the love of the divine that exists in all of us. Now, here's your host, Dr. Parthenia Grant.
I'm so excited today to have Dr. Sarah Larson joining me in studio and online. I have Evan and Angelica Perman. Today, do we have Kim Michaels online? Yay, I'm so excited. Okay, we're all here today to talk about music and other means of achieving bliss, because Kim, the dictation that Mother Mary did last week on happiness was so profound, and it had such an amazing shift on my consciousness that I thought, let me continue this discussion, and then next week we're going to be talking about laughter and how laughter can bring more joy and bliss based on a documentary called Laughology. But today, Angelica, are you online?
Yes, I am.
Oh, welcome, Angelica.
Hi.
And her husband, Evan, will be joining us. But Angelica, I also wanted to say to you and to Kim that the last show that the three of us did together about the quantum field and healing, I wanted to just thank both of you. And I wanted to thank Mother Mary for that amazing blessing that she gave me personally and everybody else on how we can literally work with the elementals to help heal the harm that is being done to humans and to the plants and the water through the spraying of all of these toxic chemicals. So I just wanted to share very quickly, Kim, when I was on my way home, I was looking up at the sky, and today is so beautiful. There are clouds and everything is clear. But I was talking to Mother Mary and thanking her, and I said, Mother Mary, I really don't know how to command the elements. Would you please guide me in a prayer to the elementals? And the words that she gave me were, to ask them for what I wanted, and she gave me Ormus gold. And so I asked the elementals to take all of the chemicals and the pesticides and all of the toxic things that are being sprayed, into the air and falling into the water and on the earth, and to transmute it into Ormus gold, which is this powder, and to let it fall like manna from heaven so that it will be beneficial to humans and to the elementals. And that way, the harm that is deliberately being done will totally be transmuted. And then I was guided to do the violet flame afterwards to transmute all of that. So I shared that with Dr. Sarah. And so Dr. Sarah's in studio. And so would you share with them what we came up with?
Oh, it's so beautiful because our consciousness affects everything around us. And Mother Mary talks very specifically with you on how to take what you're wanting and to create a reality around it. You saw these black clouds in the sky, and you had fear in your heart about them, and dread, fear and dread. And as you were feeling that, you called out to Mother Mary, who then transmitted back, this, my child, is your work. This is up to you to be able to create something from your consciousness, from the Ascended Masters, to allow this fear to be transmuted into a powerful energy. And the prayer and the process came up.
Yes.
So the specific prayer to do, the specific feeling to have, the specific visualization to bring in the purple, violet flame.
Yes, to transmute it all.
To transmute it all. And beautifully, the clouds started breaking up.
I mean, like literally, instantly. And the verification I got was later that night, someone in Long Beach, which is way, way away. I was sharing it with him. And he said, yeah, it was so black and scary looking, and then all of a sudden we we just had this beautiful day. And I went, thank you, Mother Mary, for that
Yes.
verification.
We had this marine layer that went all the way to downtown LA, which is quite a distance.
Yeah.
It was on the radio as I was driving back and forth from West LA. They were saying, oh, this marine layer that's been present for a couple of days.
Yeah.
And your prayer and your intention in your heart and this visualization created a shift in the weather around you. And today, less than 24,
Right.
maybe a little more than 24 hours later, 72 hours later, it's continued to be beautiful
Yes.
and brilliant.
Yes.
And right now we're in the spirit of the full moon.
Yeah.
And this is the time that a group of us in Los Angeles and all around the world collect Ormus. It's the time that Ormus shows up most in the oceans as well. Ormus is orbitally rearranging molecular elements
How about that?
that become whatever you need it to based on your consciousness.
Manna from heaven is what I wanted.
Yes.
So Angelica and Evan, I'm asking that you join us, because you're pretty magical. Angelica, you're like a little earth diva. So if you would please join us with that and with your beautiful music, that you're creating. I think that the more of us who do this, the more we can co-create this beautiful reality on the planet. And Kim, I just want to say that I shifted so powerfully after that last show with you and Angelica, that my every day now is like a song. I go outside and it doesn't matter what the weather is. I can just talk to the elements and it shifts. So Kim, thank you so much for the work that you're doing.
Good to hear.
Yeah, and for being this beautiful, open channel for the Ascended Masters. So now that I've said all of that, Dr. Sarah and I decided, she just came in this morning, she said, why don't we do a 21-day visual? So we're inviting those of you who feel connected to the elementals to join with us for the next 21 days. When you go outside and you look at the plants or you look up at the sky, thank them and ask them if they would please transmute anything that's negative or harmful into Ormus Gold and let it rain on us like manna from heaven.
And it's today is May 21st that
Oh
we're
my
showing
goodness, I
the
love
show.
it. Okay.
And if we did it for 21 days, at least till it would be till June 11th.
Oh, that's a
that
good
would
number.
be that we would come in. It would be in studio, and so we invite you to join us
Yes.
from now until June 11th at 11:11
How about that?
a.m. or in the evening to really bring this process about. And will you share the prayer that you?
Yeah, and it's just real simple. I just I call upon the names of the elementals, the sylphs and the salamanders, the undines, and the gnomes, and I give them thanks, and I give thanks to Hercules and Amazonia, to I love Helios and Vesta. I love the sun.
Yes.
I call them by name, and I give thanks for them helping us. And I call upon Saint Germain and Mother Mary, and then I call upon the violet flame. And the real simple violet flame that I use is, I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. And I do it at least 21 times. That's real quick, and it's real simple. And I just ask that they transmute anything that is harmful or negative in the air, water, and on the earth into Ormus Gold. Now, is that simple enough?
That's so beautiful. Divine Love listeners, if you heard that, holding this prayer, taking a few deep breaths,
Yeah.
and holding the intention of the environment connecting with you through your heart, feeling the trees, the wind, and gratitude. And then, I am the violet flame.
Yes, I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. Kim, do you have anything to add to that? Because, it was through you that I got this gift.
No, I think it sounds like you're exactly on the right track, and I think it's very important to shift out of this. I won't say necessarily fear-based, but we're not sure that this has any effect what we're doing.
It does.
And yeah, and the whole conference in Holland that I just did was about manifesting the golden age, and it was really all about it really only has the maximum effect when we not only believe what we're doing, but we know it's working and we accept it.
Hello. Okay. I know it works. I got proof that it works.
And it's so beautiful because the proof comes when you request it daily. If you don't yet connect with Spirit, set the intention for a Spirit to show you a sign. Dear Divine Love listeners, think of something like a blue butterfly, or think of something that would be Spirit showing itself to you. And ask for this daily, and it will start showing itself to you in a way that you do not expect to help you build trust with it.
Thank you. Angelica, do you have anything to add? I know we're getting ready to get into the music, but I just really wanted to give thanks, to the elementals, and to acknowledge the work that we're doing here on with Mother Mary and on Divine Love Talk.
Yeah, I think it's wonderful. And, when I was a little girl, I used to make gnome houses for all the people.
Kind of knew that.
Little thatched huts and little realities and villages for them. And, it's funny. And the Native Americans, I don't know that they make little houses, but they make plates for spirit food, right? So every meal, they take a little piece of everything that they're serving. They say prayers on it, and they sing, and they put it outside for all the spirits of the land.
Okay.
And it feeds the animals, and you're giving thanks. And so that's what comes to me, is that if there's something you're drawn to do, create a garden, a little, fairy houses, spirit food, sitting on the earth with your feet in the ground, and see ourselves not as separate from the earth, as one with the earth.
Wow.
We're not praying for the earth. We are one with the earth.
Oh, that's so beautiful, Angelica. Thank you so much for that. And I don't know if your husband Evan is on the line and if he has anything to share, but if he is, he can chime in.
Hello.
Hello, Evan. What you got to say?
Well, I just very much feel, thank you for all of your words and everybody connecting here, just to making the connection. Being connected to Spirit in all its forms, and really being in a place where one opens up to make that connection and receive those blessings, and know that we're not completely alone.
All right. And that's going to bring me into what you two are doing with Sound Shrine, that you guys combine chanting, and how do I pronounce the name of that instrument that you blow on?
Didgeridoo.
Didgeridoo. It is so amazing. And I'm going to have you talk about that in a second. But you guys use the didgeridoo, the native flutes, the bowls, the percussion, intuitive and energetic clearing and activation in your transformational sound healing performances, ceremonies, and workshops. And you guys appear at all kinds of festivals. You just came back from, what was it, Shakti Fest or Bhakti Fest?
It was Shakti Fest, the Divine Feminine Festival, and our friend was in the sound healing dome guy, and he's the gong guy, and he invited us to play with him, and we were literally sitting on the earth while all these people were laying down in the dome, and connecting with all the elements out there while the sounds came through us, and the water in our body responds to the sound vibration.
True.
And all the cells in our body respond to the sound vibrations. And there's a lot of noise pollution these days.
Yes.
So our music, and music like what we create, other chanters and sound healers, the intention is with the frequencies to raise the vibration within the cells and the water and the emotional energy of the human being and the animals. Because we'll have animals show up too.
Right, they love it. Yeah, when the music is good, listen, they just chill and they join us. So thank you guys. I know that was a long introduction, but now we have our weekly message from the Ascended Masters coming up, and then we're going to have some of your music coming up in the segment after the Ascended Masters. So if you guys would hang on. And I want to thank everybody for joining us. You're listening to Divine Love Talk. I'm your host, Dr. Parthenia. What's the website for you guys, Angelica?
Soundshrine.com.
Soundshrine.com. Kim Michaels at Transcendence Toolbox. Dr. Sarah at
DrSarahLarson.com.
And Dr. Grant at drparthenia.com. We'll be back with more after the commercial break.
Hi, friends. This is Larry Minetti. Go to LarryMinetti.com to get my book, Aloha Magnum. You'll read all about the wonderful guest stars like Carol Burnett, Elvis Presley, Frank Sinatra, and many, many more. Also, there is an episode guide and my favorite recipes that I really cook at home. I will include a free signed photo with every book. Get Aloha Magnum at LarryMinetti.com. Order now. Aloha.
Ka'anapali Beach Hotel, Maui's Hawaiian Hotel.
From traditional Hawaiian weddings and vow renewals to your own unique ceremony, find out why Ka'anapali Weddings is the perfect place to say, I do. Create the memory that will last a lifetime at the place you and your family know and love, Ka'anapali Beach Hotel. Imagine yourself and your loved one just steps away from world-famous Ka'anapali Beach in one of many wedding venues to choose from, including oceanside lawns, tropical gardens, or indoor banquet rooms. With your choice of catering, bar, floral, and musical options, you can make your special day customized just for you. Their wedding specialist will help you plan your dream wedding today. For more information, visit ka'anapaliweddings.com or call 661-0011. Ka'anapali Weddings, the perfect place to say, I do.
Ka'anapali Beach Hotel, Maui's Hawaiian Hotel.
Attention CRN listeners in Arizona. Now all of your mortgage needs can be handled by Advance Capital Mortgage. Looking for a reverse mortgage, refinance, new purchase, or just to streamline your FHA and HARP? Our rates are great with dozens of lending solutions. Call Advance Capital Mortgage, 855-437-8421. That's 855-437-8421. 855-437-8421. MBO 91903, MLS 716936. CRN listeners, when you come to Southern California, stop by a great restaurant, the Dresden Restaurant at 1760 North Vermont Avenue in Hollywood. Enjoy great entertainment, like the music of the legendary Marty and Elaine at the world-famous Dresden Restaurant. The Dresden was the location for the making of the movie Swingers. Now you can swing with stars Marty and Elaine. Plus, enjoy great food, too, like French onion soup, artichoke hearts, and many other great appetizers. Seafood, there's salmon, shrimp scampi, New Zealand orange roughy, halibut, Lake Superior whitefish, and specialties like veal marsala, piccata, and parmigiana. Plus, we've got a great roast rack of lamb, chicken piccata, and cordon bleu, and pasta dishes, too. Steaks, filet, New York, Chateaubriand for two. Much more, too, including pork chops, prime rib of beef, and an incredibly extra large cut of prime rib. It's the Dresden Restaurant, open for lunch Monday through Saturday and dinner Monday through Sunday. Check us out at 1760 North Vermont Avenue or call 323-665-4294.
Okay, we're back with Kim Michaels and our weekly message from the Ascended Masters. Kim Michaels.
I am the Ascended Master, Mother Mary, and I am happy to talk about the fact that when you shift your consciousness into an entirely positive state of enthusiasm and knowing that spirituality is reality, then you have a much greater impact on the planet than when you are in a state of either fear or doubt or feeling that you are being opposed by dark forces. Now, I want you to realize very clearly here, we of the Ascended Masters are not telling you to ignore reality or to deny that there are certain unfortunate manifestations on the planet. What we want you to realize is that these manifestations are temporary and therefore they have no long-term reality. When you get your mind into this state of knowing that nothing on earth has power over you, and therefore you have no obligation to let your state of mind be affected by things on earth, then you will have a much greater impact. You understand that the elemental beings have for so long been burdened by human fear. And it is true that they will respond to human consciousness because that is their role in nature. but they will much more readily respond to positive human feelings than to negative ones. And that is why when you are in this state of inner knowing the reality of what you are doing, then you will find that the elementals will gladly and lovingly conform to your commands and your visions. You need, of course, to be aware that the equation on Earth is very, very complex, because free will must be allowed to outplay itself on this planet. This is not an ideal planet, and it will not in the foreseeable future have the kind of ideal state that many people dream about. This is not to say that we are not constantly improving conditions on Earth, but if you are constantly expecting that tomorrow or next week the Earth is going to be in an ideal state, then you are constantly going to be disappointed, and it will wear you out over time. Therefore, you need to recognize that your calls, your visualizations always have an effect, but there are certain conditions on the planet that must be allowed to outplay themselves, because there are so many people that are still in a state of consciousness where they can only learn through the school of hard knocks. They can only learn when they see a physical manifestation of a certain state of consciousness. Only then will they begin to question that state of consciousness. I want to mention here that in past ages that have been far more advanced than what you see today, sound healing was used in a much more conscious way and on a much more large-scale way than what you see today. There have been past ages where what you see today as physical pollution had all been cleared away through many people together performing various kinds of what you would call sound healing. Sound healing is not only music. The kind of decrees and invocations we have given through this messenger and others is also a form of sound healing. Any kind of positive, uplifting chant or song is also sound healing. And so you might consider that all of you have the ability to perform sound healing. You do not need to be a singer. You simply need to be able to pronounce words, and all of you can do this. What you realize is that there is a certain force on this planet that want to disempower you, and therefore they want to give you the impression that you, as a person in embodiment, do not have power to have an impact on the planet, but you do through your voice, through your heart and your mind. And there is no power on earth, external power on earth, that can take this away from you. They may in fact be able to discourage you so that you do not use it, or so that you use it in a state of fear or doubt. But they cannot actually take this away from you if you decide that you know this is reality, you accept this as reality, and you are giving it from that state of feeling empowered from within. I know that this is quite a shift for many people, and that is why we have given many, many teachings, many books, many tools for you to accomplish this shift.
Wow. And for those tools, you can go to transcendencetoolbox.com. We will be back with Evan and Angelica Perman to listen to some of their amazing music and talk more about how all of us can co-create a more beautiful world for our children and our children's children. You're listening to Divine Love Talk with my co-host, Dr. Sarah Larson, Kim Michaels, and my special guests, Evan and Angelica Perman. I am your host, Dr. Parthenia Grant, and you can find me at drparthenia.com.
The smartest way for you to get the lowest prices on your plane tickets, domestic or international, is to call SmartFares first or last, but you've got to call us before you book your plane tickets. Fly anywhere in the world, fly anywhere in the U.S., and SmartFares can save you up to 75% on your plane tickets. We have the lowest airline ticket prices on over 500 airlines, and you've got a great 12-hour free cancellation window. Plus, with our Live Aid agent help, you can always get fast help and fast answers. So on your next trip, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, how about right now? Pick up your phone and call SmartFares, plus save up to 75% on your plane reservation. So call right now. 800-915-2644. 800-915-2644. 800-915-2644. 800-915-2644.
Experience a luxury boutique hotel escape in the heart of Laguna Beach, California, with the finest art galleries, shopping, dining, and nightlife just steps from your door. The heart of Laguna Beach, the edge of the sea. It's the Inn at Laguna Beach. Enjoy our comfortable rooms, blending the style of a timeless beach bungalow with the modern comforts of today. 70 newly appointed guest rooms and suites await you at the Inn at Laguna Beach. Then, relax at the rooftop bar, where you'll indulge in breathtaking views of the ocean. For dining, you'll find libations and local cuisine on the California coastline, including dining at the legendary Las Brisas, a Southern California landmark. The Inn at Laguna Beach, footsteps from room to village to sea, located in the heart of Laguna Beach. The Inn is within walking distance of all that Laguna Beach has to offer. No car required. The Inn at Laguna Beach, 211 North Coast Highway in Laguna Beach, California. Call 800-544-4479 or visit inatlagunabeach.com.
Attention, this important consumer alert is brought to you by CBC Funding. Hey, did you know it's possible to receive upfront money from your structured settlement, annuity, or pending lawsuit? It's true. If you are receiving a structured settlement spread out over time and you want a lump sum amount delivered immediately, then you need to call CBC Funding. With your cash today, you can pay off credit card debt, pay medical bills, fund your education, or improve your home. You don't need to wait. Structured settlements are commonly used to resolve personal injury lawsuits. Annuities, they're designed to spread payments out over 10 or 20 years. For many of you in need of money today, this simply does not work. If you have a structured settlement and you want cash now, call CBC Settlement Funding. Here's the number: 800-303-4607. 800-303-4607. 800-303-4607.
Is your business paying too much for your water? Pure Water Technology provides the world's best fully monitored, self-cleaning, bottleless water purification coolers for your employee drinking water. That's right, I said bottle-less. Because Pure Water Technology can provide you and your employees with a much healthier and cost-efficient alternative than what you're currently using. And we provide free trials. Pure Water Technology has technology unlike any other company, and you can save an average office over 6,000 gallons of water annually. So you can do your part for our California drought, save water, at the same time have happier, healthier employees. We use new reverse osmosis technology. It's available only through Pure Water Technology. No one else has this system, and we save water too. Log on to ditchthebottle.com or call 888-790-7873 for free information and your free trial. 888-790-7873. Call.
All right. You're listening to Sound Healings from Evan and Angelica Perman and their new album. It's playing in the background. Okay, so we can talk over it or no? Okay, all right, so Evan.
Yes.
Hi, okay, can you very quickly tell people how and why you connected with the didgeridoo and how it works and why it works?
Sure.
Quickly.
I know, right? So obviously, the Aborigines, the didgeridoo goes back to Australia with the Aborigines, and there's so much there that I'm still forever learning and growing and connecting with the indigenous spirit. For me, it was less a traditional influence. It was more coming out of deep connection to meditation and toning, and basically doing these deep ohms as part of my meditation. And in this CD, as you're listening, it's really all about supporting the angelic realm and playing a role, kind of holding some of the bass, some of the masculine energy, as you can hear Angelica do, singing like an angel. So that's been the strongest role of how it came into my life. as a vehicle for sound and vibration and frequency. And it's just a very powerful clearing device and something that really supports the bottom. I'm more like a bass player than I am like a lead guitarist.
So, Angelica, the two of you together just make this magic. And I listened to the whole album yesterday, and what I love is how there's continuity and flow. It's like you don't really know when you're moving from one song to the next. And so when you're doing a long meditation, I think your new album is the perfect sound healing for a healing meditation, because there's no interruption. You know how with some albums you're really into that one song, and then the next one will be like it doesn't fit, and so it pulls you out of the meditation. So I think that was genius, the way that you guys created that flow.
Well, I give credit to our producer, Jason D. McKeon, and he's wonderful. He's done a lot of series of Om CDs, and the way the music was created, Parthenia, was very much in that flow. We went into my healing room and put the recording devices there and all our instruments, and intuitively just played. He went into the cooker for a long time. It was almost 2 years, and he came back with this. He pieced it all together, and with it as one movement of sound healing music for meditation, yoga, massage, and clearing. And we love it, listening to it in the car or just playing in our house all day long.
Yeah.
Shifting the energies throughout the day.
Yeah, and I did that yesterday. I just played it. Awesome. Yeah, I just had it playing, and first I did it for a meditation, and then I just kept it playing, and it's very calming to the dogs. They liked it.
Oh my God, that's great. Well, Jason's company is Om Dog, so she'll love that. And the CD is called Om Digenous, like indigenous. So it's Om Digenous. And so it has the sound of the ohms, which Jason sings, the chanting, and then the didge and flute native instruments. And really, I feel the ancestors of all of these indigenous instruments coming through when we play them. We say prayers to them and call them in, and I feel like we channel in some of those beings, because I didn't study music, and I don't think Evan did. I mean, you started with the kazoo, right, Evan?
My education was Kiss and Led Zeppelin and Aerosmith. So what can I tell you?
Well, that's when I think that you came here with those gifts and abilities when you don't have to learn it. So I love the fact that you explained the name. It makes perfect sense, and I'm so grateful to the beautiful work that the two of you are doing together, because very quickly we're going to talk about the levels of consciousness and how you can use music and other things to raise your level of consciousness. And of course, like Kim Michael's work, it is based on 144 levels of consciousness, and then the map of consciousness is basically sort of like a nice little tool that Hawkins put together that helps you look at your emotional state and how the negative states of consciousness really keep you mired in your ego and enslaved by your ego. And then once you reach neutrality, his is based on 0 to 1,000. And when you reach neutrality at 200, then, you're reaching these higher states. And so Dr. Sarah is going to join in and talk about how we can literally move into the realm of the miraculous by assessing these higher states of joy and love and bliss.
And it's such an amazing thing. If you've ever had a day where everything flows for you, and you hear things that you normally don't hear, you connect with people deeply, you're in that state of higher consciousness.
Yes.
And Dr. Hawkins really set out to teach this and share this, wrote a couple of books, and some of his work really speaks to how we can spend more and more of our time in higher levels of consciousness, and those people that had achieved it. He went to look at the Bible, and he did within our the King James Version, looked at the New Testament, the Old Testament, found where it was higher and lower, and it's very, very.
It's not as high vibrational as people would have thought.
Right. Some of the books in it brought down the consciousness level.
Yeah.
And he also looked at A Course in Miracles. And that was one of the highest levels, depending on where you were reading in the Course. And A Course in Miracles has been around for about 50 years.
Yeah.
It's this beautiful book that really has processes that is given credit to Jesus Christ for having channeled the Christ consciousness being written out in this book.
Yeah.
And what's really, it ranks up there at the 900s. 890 is the lowest space within the Course in Miracles, going all the way up. Once you start the daily lessons, after you've done about the 75th one, you then stay at this higher flow bliss consciousness level.
So that is one way that you can attain higher levels of consciousness. I'm just emphasizing is
Yes.
through high level reading materials. I want to add to that doing the invocations that I've received, that gift from Kim Michaels, it has really cleared out, a lot of the negative stuff in me and allowed me to move back into higher states of consciousness. Because I want to emphasize, you can get really high and then you can go really low if you get around the wrong people.
Yes, and we're radio transmitters. We receive information and we send out information.
Right.
And when we get in a massive space, sometimes being of higher vibration, higher light, some of the lower consciousness is attracted.
Of course,
and
that
so
light, they want to steal it.
So you have to do the work to
Yes.
maintain
every day
your light, and going out in nature and reading Shakespeare's work. We were talking about in
It's an iambic pentameter.
and all of
The invocations are in iambic pentameter.
And the Course in Miracles, and creating for yourself these states of creativity when you're in your right brain.
So I want to say, like with music, okay, because I've reached those high levels of
Yes.
bliss. The first time it happened was when I was in India, and I was listening to Sonatam Kaur.
Yes.
And I'd never heard such an angelic. I'd never heard of her before. And they played her, and I was like, the heavens opened up, and the angels like descended. And I went in. I connected with the sky, the trees, with everything around me. And I cried tears of joy, but they were tears of joy.
Yeah.
And that state of bliss from her music, and literally, anytime I listen to 2 of her songs at any time, I can move into that state. And so I know how powerful music can be. And but it has to be high vibrational. And I want to say that Hitler also knew how to use inverse music.
Yes.
And the music industry here in America also knew how to reverse the music and make it discordant. And I do want to point out that by converting your music to 432 hertz, which is the frequency of the heart, the music that I'm using in my videos, I've converted it to 432 hertz. And you can convert any music to 432 hertz. You will feel a difference in the vibration of that music. So it's very important that you guys check out the difference in 432 hertz versus the frequency that the music is recorded in today, and how you feel. So I think you guys can say something about that, Evan and Angelica, right?
Yes.
Well, sure. I mean, I'll jump in real quick. Well, one, just the natural vibrations and frequencies of the earth and nature, for us to harmonize with those frequencies, which is more often in that 432. And really what it is it's bringing it more into the heart. It's bringing it more local and present, and creating vibrations and frequencies that actually create sacred geometry. It's
Yes.
just being in balance and being more in the beauty. And you can literally visualize these incredible forms in sacred geometry, and they are creating these resonance in sound, which are vibrations and frequencies, are creating those images ultimately.
Oh, that
and you can check that out on YouTube.
I'm glad you pointed that out, because Mother Mary, in some of Kim Michael's teachings, she talks about how everything has a matrix to it, and sound and a vibration.
Divine design.
And the Fibonacci sequence,
Yes.
and all of nature follows a very elegant
Sacred
pattern.
geometry.
The pi ratio,
Yeah.
the faster and quicker something grows, or the smaller we make it in size, the more it follows the sequence in nature. And Leonardo da Vinci and the ancient wise ones with mathematics saw this. Most of our music before the 50s was recorded at 432, and then in the 50s it changed to 440. And that frequency carries into our meridians, into our heart. And when we hear the same sounds over and over and over again, it's an agitation to our system.
Because it's only hitting the lower chakras.
Yes.
And then the 432 hertz takes it up into the higher vibrations. And so the music that you guys are doing, Angelica and Evan, is definitely, it hits the higher chakras. And I think that's where we want to try to focus. I don't know if Kim Michaels is still there and can add anything to the discussion. Are you there, Kim?
Yeah, I'm here, and I think you're absolutely right. It is very, very important. I think most people have a sense in their heart. If you focus on your heart chakra, which is in the center of your chest, and if you're listening to certain music, do you get a raising feeling or a sinking feeling in your heart? That will tell you whether it's good for you or not.
Exactly. And that's it in a
And
nutshell, right?
Athena and I, who's often a guest here, she and I did a show on Miracle Makers on UBN on just 432 hertz.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay,
if you
we
go to
gotta
my
check that
website,
out. Okay.
drsarahlarson.com, we've got a whole show about the science
I will check that
of
out.
432. We are so passionate about Divine Love Talk. We are here. We're so passionate about you living the life of your dreams that we create all of these tools. Kim Michaels and Angelica Pearl and Evan Perlman. It's
Perman.
It's so important to really bring this in, because we're listening all the time.
And we need to make better choices about the music and the sounds and what we have in our house. Like Angelica, listening to your new album and just having it playing, it just creates this sense of serenity and an inviting sense of peace. And we need that, to settle our nerves, because we're being bombarded with all these, sirens and disruptive patterns, and then the electromagnetic frequencies from all of the computers and stuff. They're literally shattering our peace of mind, and so
our natural way of being. Our natural way of being. It's being at peace and being joyful and bliss. You look at a baby, and they have such high levels of consciousness. They're connected to everything. They don't experience themselves as separate. And music can either bring us into our oneness or separate us. And if you go outside and you listen to the birds and the crickets and the leaves falling to the earth, you're hearing that frequency. When you're listening to Angelica and Evan's music, you're hearing that frequency. What you're creating, you're on your YouTube movies and these small, beautiful
the videos,
films.
I'm making sure that the music is converted to 432 hertz.
And very, very inspiring. HeartMath at Math Institute did a lot of research. When we're in a frequency that lives and comes from our heart, the experiences that we have around us are synergistic and great for our nervous system. We open up more of our brain to
and you can
respond.
Create more miracles.
Yes, and
because we are miracle makers, when you look at it. And Kim, you're quite the outdoors person. Do you? I really enjoy getting outside. What's your connection with that? I'd like for you to speak about that, because it's such a difference when I work outside rather than when I'm inside.
Yeah, well, I feel obviously that there's a certain silence in nature, I feel, and I feel that in today's world, especially if we live in a city, we are just so bombarded with all kinds of energies that it's very healthy to get out and away from it and just feel that silence. And there's a certain flow of energy in nature that you don't get in the cities.
Well, we're going to have another snippet of this amazing music from Evan and Angelica Perman coming up after commercial break. Wow, this is going so fast. We're just having too good of a time. What's the website again, Evan and Angelica?
It is soundshrine.com. Facebook, you can also reach us at Soundshrine Music.
All right, then. And Kim Michaels at Transcendence Toolbox, and Dr. Sarah at
DrSarahLarson.com.
And I am Dr. Parthenia Grant at drparthenia.com. And you are listening to Divine Love Talk on CRN. We'll be back after commercial break.
Ka'anapali Beach Hotel, Maui's Hawaiian Hotel.
Located in the heart of Maui's premier resort, Ka'anapali Beach Hotel is officially recognized as Hawaii's most Hawaiian hotel and the #1 best value in Hawaii. With a range of accommodations and affordable dining options, this is the ideal setting to turn Hawaiian dreams into lifelong memories. Live Hawaiian entertainment every evening, free year-round children's programs, weekly arts and crafts fairs, welcome breakfast, and departure kukui lei ceremonies add to the value. Swim in the whale-shaped pool, indulge in the fabulous spa and hotel salon. Enjoy Hawaiian hospitality at its best at the Ka'anapali Beach Hotel. Call 800-262-8450 or go to kbhmaui.com. That's kbhmaui.com. Aloha.
Ka'anapali Beach Hotel, Maui's Hawaiian Hotel.
CRN listeners, when you come to Southern California, stop by a great restaurant, the Dresden Restaurant at 1760 North Vermont Avenue in Hollywood. Enjoy great entertainment, like the music of the legendary Marty and Elaine at the world-famous Dresden Restaurant. The Dresden was the location for the making of the movie Swingers. Now you can swing with stars Marty and Elaine. Plus, enjoy great food, too, like French onion soup, artichoke hearts, and many other great appetizers. Seafood, there's salmon, shrimp scampi, New Zealand orange roughy, halibut, Lake Superior whitefish, and specialties like veal marsala, piccata, and parmigiana. Plus, we've got a great roast rack of lamb, chicken piccata, and cordon bleu, and pasta dishes, too. Steaks, filet, New York, Chateaubriand for two. Much more, too, including pork chops, prime rib of beef, and an incredibly extra large cut of prime rib. It's the Dresden Restaurant, open for lunch Monday through Saturday and dinner Monday through Sunday. Check us out at 1760 North Vermont Avenue or call 323-665-4294.
Turn down that radio!
If this sounds familiar, you know it's time to address your hearing loss. But custom hearing aids can cost as much as $5,000 each and are not covered by Medicare. The good news is MD Hearing Aid offers medical-grade, FDA-registered hearing aids for savings of up to 90% over traditional hearing aids. MD Hearing Aid was founded by a Chicago surgeon determined to develop a hearing aid that was technologically advanced, simple to use, and most of all, affordable. Call 1-800-511-8384. You'll speak with a trained MD hearing aid professional who will match you with the best hearing aid for your needs. Over 100,000 satisfied customers have already made the call. Call right now for our exclusive 45-day risk-free trial and get free shipping and a year's worth of free batteries, a $50 value. But you have to call right now. Call MD Hearing Aid at 1-800-511-8384. That's 1-800-511-8384.
We're listening to more of Evan and Angelica Perman and their amazing new album. How do you pronounce the name of it? Om-digenous. Okay, so I would like to invite my Facebook friends on Divine Love Talk and on Parthenia Grant to join me and Dr. Sarah in our discussion about more ways that we can raise the vibration of the planet, to do our part to help heal ourselves and the planet, and to join in our 21-day vigil.
Yes, that's a 21-day challenge to communicate, connect with us, pray with us. 11 o'clock, 11 a.m. or p.m.
And to go out and get this album and play it in your home to clear your space and to put you into a more peaceful, connected, that Om sound just kind of connects me to everything.
To connect to your higher consciousness that lives within. It's a tool that you can access your true nature.
Yes. And Om is really the sound of creation, right, Angelica?
Yes, if you have ears to hear in the higher world, you'll hear tones when you're meditating. And it is said that great beings, great ascended ones, are forever in the sounds, the sacred sounds in higher spheres. And that holds all of creation together. And there's many times where there was going to be great cataclysms and events that would be harmful to us here on Earth, where many of these beings are holding space in the higher bliss realms and keeping the matrix clean and clear and allowing us to grow and heal here. Wow. Because it's kind of extraordinary. We're all still alive and here with all these. So somebody's holding it together. God is all that is at the higher realms. So I want to thank the rishis, the great ones, the ascended masters, the beings of light, to channel these incredible sounds through us, and that all humanity can sing and use their instrument. Even if they don't think they can sing, they can open their mouth and tone.
Yeah.
Om, ah. Ah is the sound of creation. And Hu is an incredible chant. Hu opens up all the higher world, that chant.
Well, I felt the truth of that, Angelica. And Kim, what would you like to leave the audience with? Because you bless us every week with your message from the Ascended Masters.
Well, basically, the Ascended Masters are in a totally positive, totally constructive state of consciousness. And once you tune into that, you can be too.
Well, hey, it's that simple.
And so it is. So
and
awesome.
So it is.
And look, I can testify to that. On a daily basis, I just call on Mother Mary or Saint Germain or whoever feels close to my heart, and I just ask them for help. And boy, are they there, like in a flash.
They are there. That divine love is always available. And we'd love to continue the conversation on Divine Love Talk. Like the page.
Yes.
Chime in what you think about this 21-day challenge and being part of it. Thank you, Angelica.
Oh, and Evan, so much for joining us and for the beautiful work that the two of you are doing together for the planet.
And every morning he owns and chants in bed.
I love it. Well, and next week we're going to be laughing more, talking about the film Laughology. You're going to be amazed with all the stuff that's going to come up on that. Thank you, Kim Michaels. Thank you, Mother Mary. Thank you, Dr. Sarah and Evan.
Thank you,
Angelica.
Dr. Grant, for your commitment to divine love. You are creating amazing things. Thank you, Dr. Grant.
So much. All of you guys are a blessing in my life. All right, we'll see you guys next week.
Fly high.
All right. You're such a...
Which is most appropriate because that was your theme.
Are you tired of hearing your favorite talk radio show sound like this? What if you could hear your favorite shows in crystal clear, high-definition digital sound? Well, with CRN Digital Talk Radio's 6 channels of high-definition radio, you can now hear all of your favorite hosts like you've never heard them before in CRN HD. The difference is amazing. Catch your favorite political hosts like Dennis Prager, Tom Hartman, Barry Farber, and so many more. Entertainment and lifestyle programming like The Robert Conrad Show, The What's Cooking Show, and The What's Cooking on Wine Show, all in true CRN HD audio. Sports, business, travel, food, wine, politics, there is something for everyone, and it's all available in CRN High Definition Sound. Log on to www.crntalk for listings and information on all your favorite shows. That's www.crntalk.com.
radio channels. The radio channels. CRN.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Bob Agnew. The French Air Accident Investigation Agency says smoke was detected in multiple places in the Egypt Air Flight